What's going on, guys? I am here for the 15th take, trying to say a couple words about my close friend, John Meadows. Nothing I seem to say seems to come out right. The 15 takes I've done before this, some of them are 9 minutes deep, some of them are 4 minutes deep, some of them are 30 seconds deep, and I just can't seem to get the right words out because nothing I say seems to do him any justice. And I've seen other videos, I've seen the videos, and John was a ray of light in a sea of lots of darkness. The prevalent view in media is make it clickbait, make it dark, make it drama, make it negative. People love negative, and then they'll watch. John broke every rule that everybody else runs to. He didn't chase the low-hanging fruit. He rose above all of that shit, and he did it his own way. And it's funny because he would say, Jay Cutler gave us all a blueprint as to how to reach the top, how to build an empire, Jay has the blueprint. And I'm like, I don't think he realized he was the one with the blueprint. He had his own blueprint that showed the right way to do things and the right way to behave to be a good person. Lots of people say that guy's a good person about somebody they know, but John is a good person, like to his core, right? And it's not just media. That behavior I witnessed in person, in relationships, even in relationships where he was done wrong. He never went to that place. He always valued he always had his beliefs and always had these principles about behaving and acting a certain way. And he always stuck to them no matter how bad somebody else had done him wrong. And it was mind-blowing for me to watch. For somebody who is impulsive and reactionary and has a temper, John was the greatest thing ever to come into my life, because I could see the real way to behave, the real way to act, the real way a man controls his emotions. And he taught me that. He taught me not to chase the low-hanging fruit, not to react, not to bite on every story that comes my way, not to always have to get back at someone, he just had a way to rise above everything. He lived it's like he lived in his own level. It's like he didn't live on the same level as the rest of us. And when he was around people, he had this uncanny ability to make everybody feel like they were his best friend. Like, I'm talking, I did a show once, and this girl who was doing she was doing tan backstage. I think she had just started working with John. And I remember her telling me, she said, "Hey, you're coached by John Meadows." I was like, "Yeah, we've been working together for a couple of years." And she said, "Yeah, he's like my dad. We just started working together, and he's like my dad." And I'm like, it hit me at that moment. I'm like, it doesn't matter if he knew somebody for a day or a year or 10 years. He had this ability to make you feel like you were just that important to him and that large a part of his life, and that everything you did mattered to him. And it wasn't an act. He wasn't acting like he cared. He genuinely cared. He wanted the best for everybody who was in his life. And there was zero ego. There was zero like, I want to be better, or zero like it was just, he just genuinely wanted the best. I know he was always very nice to my wife. So my wife sent him a text the day we launched our company, and he was so supportive when we launched Hostile. He was like, man, you're going to do it. It's going to be great. It's going to be awesome. And he helped guide us. And he looked over our formulas and he looked over everything. And when he saw our labels, he was like, this is amazing. And he was so excited for us. And the day we registered our company, I remember he sent my wife a photo, and I think he must have been shooting, one of his Ultimate Warrior skits. And he just sent her a photo of him with his arms up, and he had the Ultimate Warrior makeup on and the bands around his arms. And it was this is why I didn't want to shoot this video. So anyway, it wasn't John's bodybuilding knowledge that made him special. It wasn't that John introduced so many different techniques to bodybuilding. When you see people using bands, that's John Meadows. When you see people using chains, that's John Meadows. When you see people doing really weird techniques, people know things like lateral raises with your arms straight out, or bent over a bench, rear delt raises with your arms straight. That's John Meadows. Like, this certain things he brought to the sport that will last, but it wasn't bodybuilding. It wasn't bodybuilding stuff. It was, I think he was teaching everybody how to act. I think that's what we all loved about him. Nobody cared that he didn't win a pro show. Nobody cared that, like, nobody cared about any of the bodybuilding shit. I think everybody loved John because we were all learning from him. But we weren't learning bodybuilding. I know people watch his videos and are learning how to train, and I don't think that was the hook, because there are so many people on YouTube making training videos. It wasn't the hook. People were watching John because he genuinely cared, and you could tell that he cared. And that's so rare nowadays, that his infectious behavior probably shone through even on camera. And I think that's why people love John. They could feel that he cared, even if they didn't know him, and even if they never met him. And I'm not a particularly religious person, but I know John was. So John, if you're watching, I love you. And me and the people closest to you will do our best to watch over Mary and the boys and make sure they have whatever they need. And I'm not sure what else to say. So I'm just going to end this here. And thank you guys for watching.